Dustin Poirier just teased that he has one more fight in him. Who can it be? Well, Dustin Poirier has a couple ideas. We're going to take a look at what Dustin Poirier had to say in multiple tweets, actually, and we're going to take a look at a couple top responses to get the general idea of how the community is feeling about it. We're going to get into that in just a second. Before we do that, I do want to say hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's start off with this post from the Diamond, Dustin Poirier. If Arman can't fight, let's go again. And it's, of course, if you guys don't know, Arman Tsarukyan has just been suspended. I want to say it was until towards the end of the year. I could be wrong about that, but regardless, Arman is suspended and cannot fight. So Dustin Poirier is calling for a rematch. And like I said, guys, I wanted to take a look at a couple top replies. So we're going to take a look because Dustin's not done. Dustin tweeted quite a few things. So we're going to go through Dustin. We're going to go through what some of the top replies are saying again to get what the MMA community kind of feels about this. So a user by the name of Christian Jeffrey, he will not give you the rematch, not a chance. He knows you downloaded lots of info and now he'd be much more vulnerable. Now, I don't actually quite agree with this, to be honest with you. Dustin Poirier is aging. Islam Makhachev likely had staph infection during that fight, or I think it was confirmed. Sorry if my facts aren't exactly up to par for this video, but I feel like Islam would dominate him in the rematch. Dustin Poirier is clearly aging. He's not quite washed yet. He can still definitely hang with the top contenders, but that was not the killer that we're used to seeing. So another username by the name of Polar had this to say, honestly, it would be sick, but we're tired of these rematches. We need to see Islam fight new people. Now, here's the interesting thing, and I actually don't know about this, so I'll look it up really quick, the UFC rankings, because I don't know if there's really another fight for Dustin Poirier right now. Let me bring you over to the rankings over here. You can see that Islam Makhachev, of course, is the champion. Arman Tsarukyan is the rightful next guy to fight for the title. You have Oliveira, you have Gaethje. Gaethje doesn't deserve it. Oliveira doesn't deserve it. Do you want to give him Gamrot? I don't think so. I don't know. Wait, isn't Gamrot matched up? Regardless, you can't give it to Chandler, Dariush, Fiziev. Holloway's the next best guy. He really is. But even if, let's say, if you talk about welterweight, then that's a whole another different opponent for Dustin Poirier. And you could have some really good matchups there. And I wouldn't, like, it honestly wouldn't shock me if they just slipped him into a title fight somewhere. But anyways, Dustin Poirier continued to the last dance. Let him know. And of course, Dustin Poirier is feeling it. He's ready to fight. But I do ultimately think that Dustin Poirier is going to end up his career like Volkanovski, where he just is addicted to the game. These are Dustin Poirier's words. He has that itch to fight. He's addicted to the game. He's addicted to fighting. So even if he does have his retirement fight, I can see Dustin Poirier being the guy to come back in. So Swanton had this to say, McGregor or Holloway for the BMF title at 165 pounds. They fought twice. I actually can see them going on a third time because the first time was so long ago and the second fight was an absolute banger, and this really would be a BMF title fight. As much as people are tired of the rematches, and you know what? I'm kind of tired of rematches too. I actually don't mind this for Dustin Poirier. SW Fight Hub had this to say as well. McGregor 4, Diaz, Colby, Volkanovski, Max 3. I'm down for these kinds of fights. Full violence. Now, okay. I like the McGregor 4 idea, but I'd feel too bad for Michael Chandler, so I want McGregor to fight Chandler. Nate Diaz would be a really good send-off fight for him, and it would be around that level now at this point. It's a very winnable fight for Dustin Poirier. There's beef. It would be a star fight. You could headline a pay-per-view with that. You could do the same thing with Colby Covington, but Dustin's not going to do that. Volkanovski would be an incredible matchup. I would love to see that, especially with the way that both of them are in their careers right now. I love that. Max Holloway, again, I'm so down for. So Dustin Poirier continued because it gets even worse. Hey, Notorious MMA. It felt so nice. I did it twice, Yabumski. He wants to fight Conor. He wants to fight Conor McGregor, which, again, people were talking about, but could you imagine? We'll take a look at this tweet first. Primetime had this to say. This was the top reply to it. Dustin hates Chandler so much he's going to try stealing his fight from him. Could you imagine if he actually took the fight from Conor McGregor? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Michael Chandler would be on like self-deletion watch, man. And Dustin continued with another post, hashtag Sleepy Mac. He's calling out Conor McGregor. Is Conor McGregor going to do anything? I don't know. Dustin Poirier obviously isn't going to take a fight against a contender. If it's his last dance or supposedly his last dance, he's going to fight a big fight. Dustin Poirier can headline a pay-per-view. I could actually see the UFC giving an Islam Makhachev rematch. Dana White going, well, there's nobody to fight. There's nobody to fight, and the first one was so good. And the fans would love to see another, like, diamonds in the sky. You know, they could hype that fight up because it was so close. In reality, Islam Makhachev would absolutely annihilate him in a rematch. But I actually see that happening. And let me know down below what you think about that, because I don't know if I'm alone in thinking that. I just really do believe that the UFC could put together a rematch just with the timing of everything. I'm almost sure Gamrot's booked. Or was he? No, they were talking about an Oliveira match. I apologize, guys. I'm not sure what's going on with Gamrot, but I don't think they want Gamrot to fight Makhachev. Holloway's the next best guy for the title, but I don't even know if they're going to do that. He might be fighting Topuria. Who knows? I love the idea of a Volkanovski match. Regardless, I hope Dustin Poirier does have a nice send-off, and I'm really worried that Dustin Poirier is going to end up like one of those guys who just comes back way too old, way too broken, and that's something that I really don't want to see, guys. Let me know what you think about Dustin Poirier and his retirement fight down below. Thank you very, very much for watching the video. If you guys are interested, I have another video over here ranking all of the MMA content creators. If you'd like to check that out, guys, it's right here. It's a great video. I will see you over there. Take care.